Good evening and welcome everybody. Welcome to the VIV Business Presentation. My name is Brian Delasso. I'm absolutely excited to be here tonight presenting the VIV Business Model to you guys. And if you haven't seen this before, we're going to try to go through this quickly and give you guys a good rundown of what the VIV business is. So VIV is a technology company. It's a technology platform. And the name VIV is actually Latin for live. So the tagline of the company is live life better, or VIV life better, which I absolutely love. And VIV is very much like Uber or Airbnb. It's a technology platform, and they really, these companies used technology, really revolutionized a couple of different industries in the car industry and the hotel industry. And VIV is leveraging technology to reach out to people in all 50 states to lower things like cell phone bills, internet bills, cable bills, electricity bills. So one of the things we ask people is, who do you know that has a cell phone, right? It's everybody. Who has electricity, who has cable, who has home security, right? So the beautiful thing about VIV is when we're reaching out to people, they're already using the services that we're inquiring about. And what we're really doing here is we're highlighting the fact that there's over $60 billion a year being overcharged to people like you and your family and your friends and your parents and grandparents. So what we're doing here is really in harmony with what's going on in the economy, is we're just lowering people's bills. That's what the business model is. You upload your bills and we lower them. And I'll show you how that works here. But if you think about it, if you go back a decade ago, you know, the average internet bill was $29 to $39. Well, now it's like $239, $229. So these bills have gone up and up and up disproportionately to people's paychecks, right? So what VIV did is we put together a nationwide network of professional negotiators. That's what the VIV model is. And we negotiate bills. And I want to be really clear that we're not changing services. We're not switching services. We're not switching providers. We're not taking people from Xfinity and moving them to Verizon. We're taking people's bills that they already have and the providers they already have, and we're simply negotiating those to be lower. And the other thing we're not doing is we're not reducing services. We're not stripping down the services either. That's not what we're doing. So what we do is we use group buying power. And we also use something called the metadata. And the metadata is data from all 50 states, thousands of bills all over 50 states. We simply have data on what's being spent in Arkansas versus Connecticut versus Florida. So we can compare this data and we can get people's bills lowered. And then the other thing we do is we have access to discounts and rebates, and we just have a lot of access to things that the average public person doesn't have. You know, it's no different than going shopping for insurance. If you're by yourself, you get one rate. If you're part of a group, you get a much lower rate. So what we're doing is just uploading people's bills, and you can use your phone to do this. You can see here, you click on the bills that somebody has. You take pictures with your phone. You can either do this, or you can download the bills from the internet, or you can scan them on your computer. But we're really just dragging and dropping these bills very much like you would a Facebook picture, right? So everybody knows how to do what we're doing here. And then the VIV business model takes over. So our part in this business is just lead generation and inputting bills. And it's usually just friends and family, and then we teach other people how to do the same thing. We also have a commercial component that I'm going to show you. But the very next thing that happens for the VIV customer is they get an email very much like this one here. And you can see here that this is one of my realtor friends. She saved over $1,800 on a 24-month contract. Now, she was going to pay this money anyway. She had Xfinity. She had a 2-year contract. Before we stepped in, she was about to pay $1,800 more than she needed to. Think about that. But we came in and we uploaded her bills for free, right? There's no cost to upload your bills. And then we negotiated the bill, and we saved her about $80 a month just on this one bill. Now, you can also see here that we got her an upgrade too, right? 8 times faster on internet and free Netflix. Now, the way that VIV makes its money and the way we as distributors make our money is we get 50% of what we save. So if we saved her $80, we're going to bill her credit card $40. Does that make sense? If we save a company $5,000 a month, we're going to bill them $2,500. If we save $100,000, we're going to bill $50,000. So we're billing people's credit card half of what we save. But I want to be really clear here that this is all dead money anyway. And what that means is these customers, these clients of ours, they're not going to access any money without us jumping in. So it's a win-win scenario. They're either going to get nothing or they're going to get 50% of something. You guys see how that works? And that's why the business model works so well, because we only get paid when we save somebody money. And then we as distributors, we get paid out of VIV's 50%. All right, here's another example of a small commercial. I think this is a dozen landlines or something, small commercial. And you can see here we saved over $8,000 over a 3-year period, 36 months. So half of that went to VIV and half of that went to the commercial clients. All right, now here's a little bit of a bigger deal. This is a commercial clawback, and I'm going to get into this in a little bit. But you can see here we can go backwards too. We can go up to 4 years backwards. And we did a sales tax audit, and we clawed back over $214,000 for this company. So $107,000 for them, $107,000 for VIV, and the commission on this was, I think, around $20,000 for the VIV consultant. So everything from small bills to big bills. All right, another thing we have on the platform, and I told you that VIV is a technology platform, we have something called a pro membership. And in this pro membership for $69 a month, we have quite a few services. All right, so the first thing we have is something called Getaway, which is an online discount travel portal. It's very much like Priceline or Expedia, except we're able to access the same inventory for far cheaper prices, right? So we don't pay advertising. Those companies pay over $6 billion a year in advertising, and we don't pay anything. So we're able to access the same inventory in hotels and cruises and cars, and we can book these things much cheaper. So this is something we have for a $29 a month service, or as part of a $69 pro membership. All right, another thing in the pro membership is something called Medicall. And a lot of bigger companies have telemedicine. If you go to like Compaq or Dell or General Electric, if you're part of a big corporate plan, they have telemedicine. But a lot of people like realtors and insurance agents and small business owners, they don't have telemedicine. And what this is 24/7, 365 access to a nationwide network of doctors. And it's also video-based as well. So this is good for up to 5 people in your family. You can get prescriptions filled on this. I mean, right now they're telling people don't come to the hospitals, right? This is a very, very powerful service. And we've had a lot of people in our team use this and have really good experiences with it. So again, this is $29 a month, or it's part of a $69 pro membership. And another thing we have in the pro membership, and I think this is a very powerful thing, is we are partnered with a national tax strategy company. And what we can do for $99, we can offer this to the public. And we go back and audit up to 3 years of taxes. But this is not an IRS audit. This is an audit on your behalf. And the average customer saves between $4,000 and $8,000 when they do one of these audits. So very, very powerful. Me personally, I got back almost $30,000. All right, so these things can get really big. I had one client get back almost $40,000. So we can offer this to the public as a tax strategy session, or if you're a pro member, again, for that $69 a month, this is included for free. So we have a lot of things, and there's a couple other things in the pro membership as well on the residential level. On the commercial level, we have a 3-phase value proposition. So we can do residential, we can do your friends, family, and neighbors, things like that. But we can also do large commercial. And there's actually no such thing as too big when it comes to large commercial. There's no company that we can't negotiate with. All right, so phase 1 is the bill negotiation. We can do cell phone, internet, cable, landlines, things like waste management, pest control. We can negotiate those bills going forward. And we as distributors, we get paid monthly residual income on these bills. So the bigger the bills, the more income we get. And we have about a 94% retention ratio. So think about that as you're building a side business or a book of business. If you sell something today, there's a 94% chance that 10 years from now, you're going to still be getting paid on it month after month after month. All right. The second thing we do, or phase 2, is bill auditing. Now, bill auditing, we go up to 4 years backwards. We look at things that they've been overcharged. We dig into the bills. And these can get really, really big with companies. These can get into 5, 6, and even 7-figure commissions. So phase 2 is bill auditing. And again, I want you to remember this. This is all 100% free to the client. It doesn't cost them anything to go through an audit. You see, about 85% of all companies in America, in the 50 states, are getting overcharged in some way, shape, or form. So we know that about 8 or 9 times out of 10, if we do an audit, we're going to find something and make some money. You guys see how that works? And then the third thing we have is energy efficiency products. And we've been partnered up with this company, the Madison Energy Group. They've been doing these things for 10 years. And these little guys go on heating and cooling equipment and things like walk-in coolers and freezers. All right. So we're able to guarantee to reduce energy costs by 10 to 30% with these. We have a decade of case studies, plus we do free pilot programs, which means we'll actually go into the facility, put these things in, we'll measure the energy before, measure the energy after, and do a projection and guarantee we're going to save this amount of money before they even have to write a check to work with us. All right, guys, and here's an example of a convenience store gas station deal. Led to 117 locations. There's over $500,000 a year in savings. Think about how significant that is, especially now. And that's for life, right? That's for as long as they own these stores. These units are warranted and guaranteed for life. There's no moving parts. And it was about a $60,000 commission for the VIV consultants. That's not too bad for a part-time gig. That's more than a lot of people make in an entire year in one commission. So this is one of the things that separates us from every other network marketing company in the world, is we actually have the ability to make a very good living just marketing the services and products that we're bringing to the table. All right, so I like to say we have everything from 18-year-old kids with cell phone and internet all the way up to the largest companies in the world. We have something for everybody. This business fits really, really good with realtors and people that are in sales. I have a construction business. I have a consulting business. Anybody that's servicing the public in any way, shape, or form, why not also help them lower their bills? One of the people on our team, she runs a daycare. She does very, very well with this, right? So this is an easy sell across a lot of different verticals. All right, guys, so the value proposition is right now there's over 60 million people got laid off from COVID, and we're a home-based business, so people are looking for stuff to do. We're reducing bills. We're one of the only companies, we're actually the only company that I know of that we're not asking people and selling them something like, either some oils or some supplements or some nutritional stuff, right? We're not reaching out asking people. We're reaching out helping people. That's a major, major difference. We can average 4,000 to 8,000 back on taxes. A lot of people could use that right now to kind of weather the storm, couldn't they? Lowering taxes going forward. Again, we highlight errors that are being made, and those errors don't keep getting made year after year. We have the home-based medical, which is in harmony with what's going on right now. And then we are a recession-proof business model. So when I say recession-proof, the reason why I have this business amongst my other companies is because this business usually goes the opposite of the economy, right? These type of businesses thrive during recessions. And even back in 2006, 7, and 8, when people stopped paying their mortgage for 3 years, they didn't stop paying internet. They didn't stop paying cell phone, cable, TV, because these companies will shut you off, right? The banks, they'll float the mortgages for years, and the government will do that too, but the government's not gonna help you pay your cell phone bill. All right, guys, so it's a recession-proof business model. Now, VIV is a business in a box. That we're a tech company, so the technology we have is by far the best in the industry. And we have a front page, we have a website, and we also have a back office with things for social media marketing. We have little 2-minute explainers. Even when I'm explaining to you now, we have videos for that. We have online trainings. Everything you could possibly need to run this business is $189 startup and $69 a month. And again, we have everything for social media, things for ClickFunnels if you want. So it's a very robust technology platform. All right, guys, I'm gonna go over the different ways we earn, and then we're gonna open up for a little Q&A, and we're gonna do a LinkedIn training. We have one of our rock stars gonna come on and do a LinkedIn training for prospecting. All right, guys, so there's 5 ways that we earn in this company. And the first way that we earn is upfront commissions. We get point of sale commissions. We get $75 for a pro member. We get a $150 bonus when we upload our first 10 bills, right? So half of these can be your own bills. And then you talk to your brother or your friend or your neighbor, you upload a total of 10 bills and you get a $150 bonus. All the way up to what I showed you was a $60,000 commission and higher on large commercial deals. So you can make small amounts of money up front, and you can make large amounts of money up front depending on your wheelhouse and where you want to grow this business. All right, the second way we get paid is monthly residual level pay. What this is, it means we can build to unlimited width. It's a unilevel structure. For those of you that are familiar with network marketing companies, it's not a binary or a balanced or anything like that. It's a unilevel. It means we get paid to unlimited width. There's no restrictions on that. And we get paid 6 levels deep up to the percentages you can see here. All right, the third way we get paid is weekly base pay. And I absolutely love this way because as you're building a book of business, this smooths out the highs and lows of a traditional business. A lot of companies have rank advanced bonuses, and you can make 10 grand, 20 grand. I've seen even 100 and even $200,000 bonuses, but it's a one-time hit. And then your volume goes way back down to whatever it was. So you get these emotional roller coasters, right? You can see here, as we're building a book of business, we get an additional $100 a week, $250, $500, $1,000 a week, all the way up to $2,000, $3,000, and $5,000 a week at the highest levels of the company. So I want you to really think about this. And I'm a no-nonsense guy. This is not a lottery ticket. It's a business, right? I just want you to look at your current business, whatever that is, and ask yourself, is there anything you can do for the next 10 years that if you did that thing, you would have a guaranteed $5,000 additional a week coming in? Now, some of you might say yes. If you're building a real estate portfolio, you might say yes to that. But most people, if you're a lawyer, there's not anything that I can think of you can do over the next 10 years. When you walk away, you're going to get 5,000 unless you're into partnership or something. So think about this. For most people that have average jobs, salespeople, or if you're in the trades, you don't really have something that you can build this residual income in this book of business. So I want you to think about that. Would it be worth working 5 hours a week consistently over the next 3, 5, or 10 years to be able to hit some of these numbers and be able to step away from your job? That's what we're talking about here. All right, the fourth way we get paid is generation pay. And generation pay is a leadership pay. It starts at pay setter, and it's very similar to level pay, but it can pay down dozens or even hundreds of levels deep. So this is a leadership pay that pays monthly residual income on all of these bills that we're getting. All right, and the fifth way we get paid is profit sharing. We get 2% corporate profit sharing at the platinum partner level and another 2% at the silver executive level. So I want you to imagine this company's just passed its 2 years in May. I've been with the company for 3 years. I was around since the inception, one of the first distributors. And when the company hits $1 billion, right, $1 billion in profit, and they take 2% of that and they put it into a pool of not that many people. Well, that's $20 million going into a pool with only people that are working a serious business splitting that, and they have 2 of these pools. So guys, there's everything from earning $500 a month to $5,000 a month to $50,000 a month and even more. It's really, what do you want out of it? I think I've showed you here that we have something for everybody. Everybody's got a cell phone, right? And if you're into team building and you're into residual income, you can do that as well. All right, guys. So at this point, you're either an A or a B. Now, an A is somebody you see the value, you want to become a customer, but you might not want to start a business. Not everybody wants to start a business. But if you want to become a customer, number one, it's free. I want to be very clear, crystal clear. There's no fees to be a customer. And the average savings for uploading your bills is $1,150 if you upload 3 bills. So you might want to just get with the person who brought you and test it out. That's fine. If you want to test it out, upload your bills. There's no risk. There's no harm. Or you're a B, and a B is somebody that sees the value. You want to start a business. And if you have some questions, I'm going to open up for questions. And to start your business, it's a $189 one-time fee, and it's $69 a month for your pro membership. All right, guys, so I'm going to open up for just a quick little Q&A, and then we're going to get into some training here. And let me unmute you guys, or give you the ability to unmute. Let's see. All right, we just unloaded or updated the mute there. Anybody have any questions on either starting your business or anything that I just went over here?
Yes, Brian, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Oh, I am very blessed. I have a happy heart, and I do thank you for asking.
Oh, I absolutely love that.
I love being that. Oh, you made me forget my question.
I have that effect on women, sorry.
I'll come back. Oh, no. I wanted to know, is this recorded? This is the first
recorded.
time I heard your presentation, and it is fabulous.
Oh, thank you. It is recorded. Yep, it's recorded. And I wanted to record it because we're going to do a LinkedIn training here too. So this is recorded.
Thank you.
And you can find this on the VIV Success Network YouTube channel. It'll be uploaded later on tonight.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Happy to help. Welcome to the team. Gotta love her energy. Anybody else have any questions? All good? All right. Mr. Michael Tsudakawa. I want to bring Michael front and center to the stage here. Michael's going to go through a little bit of a LinkedIn training. And Tuesday nights, guys, if you're brand new the VIV network, to the VIV family, I should say, you want to make sure you're plugging into Tuesdays, because we always do a training. We do a presentation and then we do a training. So you can literally just drive traffic here. We'll present the business, we'll answer questions, but then we always have a training. Sometimes it's on customer acquisition, sometimes it's on Facebook. And tonight we're going to do LinkedIn, because Michael kind of cracked the code on LinkedIn, and he's got a pretty good story. So Michael, maybe come on, tell a little bit about your journey, why you ended up in LinkedIn, and kind of where you're coming in from, and then go ahead and show us what you're going to show us on your little LinkedIn strategy there. Oh, Michael, can you hear me? I can see you, but I don't know what you're doing there.
Hold on, how about now?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we couldn't hear you before.
I've been having some issues with my AirPods, even for some calls last night and the day before. I don't know what it is. But
no worries.
Sorry about that. Hey, if you could share my screen, or if I could share my screen.
I will do that right now. There you go.
Awesome. So thank you for this time. I know, let me blow this up here real quick. I know a lot of people have been asking me about LinkedIn and things like, what I did. And I guess, Brian, you asked me like a few months ago, actually a couple months ago, to do this. And I told you, hey, I need to make I think I've cracked it, but I haven't had any kind of like results.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to delay it until I had some results. And then I didn't really push it. And then I guess Warner, Julissa, and somebody else also asked me, I think Kathy asked me to get one-on-one with them. And then you asked me. So I feel like, somehow I was able to get to this position. I actually visualize this position at some point where people will come to me for asking for training. So anyways, before I get into the LinkedIn training is pretty simple. But I think at the very beginning though, it's more of a spiritual thing, more of a mindset thing. And I just want to hit something, like just take 5 minutes and talk about that. And that I think a lot of what I was able to do here was because I understood and made a decision, because everything is energy. Everything is energy. We are all creators, and we're creative beings. And you got to understand that you create everything that you have, all the results that you have in one way, shape, or form. You have brought it into your life somehow. I know that may sound harsh if your life is hard, but you attracted that into your life. And so what I understand that physical principle of this world and the physics behind, the law of cause and effect and all that. And I was able to basically focus, laser beam focus on what I wanted to do. Hey, Brian, are you frozen for some reason? Okay, no, you're still there.
Yeah.
So what I did, I focus. Let me just back up and say, maybe give you a little background. I started VIV around in the fall, and I'm in Tokyo, for people that don't know that. So I'm running this operation out of Tokyo. That's pretty hard when it comes to the time zones, when it comes to, I also had an incident where I got locked out of Facebook, no fault of my own, because I had registered my phone, or registered my Facebook account using just my phone number in the US when I was in the US. And then I didn't update it with any kind of email or backup notification system. So when I was out here, Facebook had asked me to verify my account, and they were going to send a PIN number to my phone number in the US. Obviously, I'm not in the US, and I'm on a different network out here. So they thought because I couldn't verify my code, I was shut out of my Facebook account. And that was not a good thing that happened, but I guess it was in the end, because it forced me onto LinkedIn. So what I would advise folks is that don't let your circumstances control you. Don't let the outside environment control you. don't make up excuses, because you can create anything you could actually imagine. You know, like I said, I'm in Japan. The time zone changed. I was locked out of Facebook. I'm actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm actually working from a not a desk, but I have a cardboard box in front of me. So I've been sitting in front of a cardboard box for the last 3 months trying to work the VIV business. Yeah, so I could have let all these circumstances like control me, but I didn't. I made a decision about 3 months ago. I was going to pursue Vision Circle once it was announced in June that this promotion was going to happen, and that's when you know, I basically put everything into motion. So that's the hardest part, is to start, I think. And I was only a P80 at that time. In the beginning of June, I was only a P80. Like I said, I started in the fall. Everything was a little slow. I'm not a sales guy. My background, you know, I'm a Navy guy. I was a pilot, and then I went into project management, retired at 20 years, moved to Japan, finished my PhD in electrical engineering, and then got hired with IBM that winter. And I was with IBM about 5 years in project management kind of stuff, 1 year in research. And then I left IBM 2 years ago and started my own consulting company. I consult for Toyota, making ridiculous money doing that. Now, VIV is just a side gig, but it's an opportunity that I saw because of the, you know, a lot of the potential, the unlimited potential, and there's no limitations on how much you can earn. So anyways, maybe I should just jump into the LinkedIn training. But so I was forced.
It's good to hear. You know, it's good to hear why you got there, and you know how you're making it work. You know.
Yeah. So I could have rolled over and said, well, I'm in Japan. You know, how the hell am I supposed to contact people in the U.S.? I could have made up all these excuses, but I didn't let it. I didn't use that. Is what I'm saying. I didn't focus. It's energy, right? And I didn't focus my energy on the negative. I focused my energy purely on the task, which is how do I grow this business? How do I make it happen, right? Instead of focusing on why it's not happening, I focused on how to make it happen. So when I had LinkedIn, okay, everybody needs to understand. Right now, I have like over 6,290 connections, I believe is. And but back then, just only about 2 months ago, I had only 160. So I have 6,088 connections right now. So what I'm getting at is I started from scratch. So on a cardboard box in Japan, you know, with, you know, so what I'm getting at is, you know, no excuses. There's no excuses. It's all mental. Your mind goes where you put it. And all I guess one of the things that I did mentally was, once I set my goal of Vision Circle and I was P80, promoter 80 rank, I basically set, you know, promoter 160, promoter 320, promoter 650, then pace setter. I wrote those down, and then I just took them one step at a time. You know, this is what I tell my son all the time: just take one step at a time. When you climb Fuji-san, that's one step at a time. You know, when I did my PhD, you know, I said to myself, you know, I'm just going to take one thing at a time, one brick at a time. And that's what I did here. Was I just focused on the next rank, which was P160 at that point in time. And what I did was constantly, in a calm, confident, cheerful manner, focused on that, on having already achieved that P160 rank. Now, this sounds a little simple, but I mean, this really works. And you guys really need to pay attention to what I'm talking about here, is that you need to come from the place of the goal already achieved and see and feel how it would be once you've already achieved it. And then it pulls you toward that goal from where you are currently at. So that's what I did for each of these wickets: the P160, P320, P650, and now pace setter, and then eventually partner and higher. So, and you gotta have the power of focus. You know, I am exhausted mentally because I've been sprinting for 3 months straight. I've had a call for the last 2 months once I got this rolling, the last 2 months, every single day except for the 4th of July, I've been on the phone call for one call to 4 calls a day. And that gets exhausting, especially on the weekends and stuff like that. So it is work. This is not a lottery ticket, like Brian says. This is work. It requires mental energy, requires concentration, it requires, you have all the resources you need. I mean, I'm doing this off a cardboard box. So it's not like you need these fancy offices, you need all this stuff. You just need a computer and the will to do it. And I'm living proof you could do this from anywhere. So let me just get into the mechanical stuff now that we talked about more of the spiritual, mental side of it. But I would say the mental side needs to be solid, or none of this mechanical stuff's gonna. It's just a mechanical exercise. I think, Brian, you're nodding your head there. So, so as far as LinkedIn, it doesn't matter if it's LinkedIn or if it's Facebook or whatever it is. And these principles apply across the board. And all I did was listen to Kathy's training, I think a few months back. And because her training was regarding Facebook and how she was using Facebook to get cold market leads to turn and, to get appointments. And then there's a process, right? So we're talking lead generation today, I guess, with LinkedIn. But there's also phases. Once you get the appointment, you need to have a solid presentation, right? And then you have to follow up, and then you have to close it. So there's phases of of this whole process to build your business or build your team. But for now, let's just focus on the lead generation with LinkedIn. So what I learned from Kathy's presentation was that, and I didn't know anything about LinkedIn. Okay, I'm not a LinkedIn expert. But Kathy told me that in Facebook as well, you could Facebook recommends people. So like on this page here, I just hit my network, and you could do this. I usually do this on my phone, but I'm just on my laptop so I could share my screen. But as you can see down here, LinkedIn has recommended to me all these people, based on, alumni from my Naval Postgrad School days. All these Navy guys that, went to the same school that I did for my master's. And like this one says open to work. This is a green band that we were talking about the other day so I would probably want to connect with her. But at the very beginning, what I did was I only had
Michael,
160.
can you explain what that is, the green band, just so people are clear?
Yeah, they just started this. LinkedIn said, if people who are out of work because of the 60 million unemployed, they offer this, you could just put this green band around your face to basically highlight the fact that, hey, I'm looking, I'm actively seeking job opportunity. So that means she's open-minded to me. So I only talk to open-minded people. I don't chase people that are closed-minded or basically say, no thanks. I don't come back and try to get them to say yes. That's just my attitude. Maybe I'm losing opportunities by doing that, but I personally just want to look for people that are open-minded and who are willing to work, I guess. And so all I say is 2 words: no worries, and I just move on. But what I wanted to say with this is that you could all I did at the very beginning was I only had 160 connections, so every connection was valuable. So all I did was connect until LinkedIn told me I couldn't connect anymore. I mean, that's sort of dangerous on Facebook, I think, because Facebook could shut you down or something like that. But LinkedIn, I found that it doesn't shut you down if you just keep on connecting to people. But it does tell you to stop or at least pause. So I did that morning and night, or more every day, or whatever, as much as I can for every single day for up to now. So for the past 3 months or whatever it is, I've been doing this. And now I went from 160 connections to 6,088 connections, as you can see up here in the upper left. So, and the reason why I was doing that was because of something Whitney said was, she said, you need to have at least 5,000 connections for attraction marketing. So now that I have that, I need to follow up and somehow ask her, so now what? So, now how do I do attraction marketing now that I got, over 5,000? But that's for another day, right? But so all I did was connect. And what happens is, and I do this, let me go back to the top here. On my phone, I don't really do this on my, on the desktop here, but on your phone, it'll say manage connections or something like this. So once you hit the manage thing, you'll see, or let me do this. Let me look at my phone because this is not quite the same as when I do this. So I go network, and at the top it says connections. So it doesn't, I don't necessarily go to manage here. Sorry about that. So I go over here where it says connections on my phone. I hit that, and then I could tell these are, and again, this is different on the desktop. So these are all the people that have connected to me since yesterday, because I had cleared this out yesterday, but these are all new connections, as you could see here. And all I do is go to the very bottom and start my way up. And I basically message them. I initiate, so we have not talked. So all they did was connect. And Facebook does the same thing. And all I do is, hit this guy here, hit a message here. Obviously there's no conversation going on. All I do is, thanks for connecting. And I put their name with an exclamation point. That's all I do to initiate the conversation. And then I send it. So, and then I wait and I go all the way. I just do the same damn thing. Thanks for connecting. Thanks for connecting. Tim, Georgia, Justin, Mariah. I just do that as part of the system, or what do we call it, the process. So all I'm doing is fishing at this point. So, and then I wait. Some people never answer. I don't care about them. Some people may answer, and then that's when I answer back. And let me find somebody that, I've done before. So this guy, Luis. So I connected with this guy. This was a while ago. Shoot. Now just bear with me. This is a little hard to manage on the desktop. It doesn't allow the, here we go. It disappeared on me again. Sorry about that. This is finicky. That's why I don't use the desktop. I can't I got to grab this little scroll bar. Just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to get to the top of this.
If you want to read it off your phone, you can do that too.
Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, so he actually connected with me first. He was probably looking, right? And then so I did the thanks for connecting, and then here's my spiel. This is what I cut and paste right here. Would you be open to hear about a unique business idea? We have no product, and it's recession-proof, home-based business model that you can do on the side as another source of income. I'm not sure if it'd be a good fit, but it's definitely worth checking out. That's your line, Brian. And Brian taught me all these things, so this is not like I created this. Let's schedule a 5-10-minute call if you're open. I'm generally out free. Cheers. And then some people never answer this. I don't chase them. Maybe I should, but I don't. Like I said, I don't want to waste my time. And if they're not answering back, that just tells me that their minds are closed. I'm looking for open-minded people. And because I just keep going, I keep generating new leads and get the low-hanging fruit. So he comes back, and then eventually, we schedule a meeting. And then that's the lead generation part of this. So that's the LinkedIn training. Now after that, it's all you escalate to the presentation. You do the presentation, get them interested. Like Nolan says, A, B, C. A, did you have me a hello? B, are you interested? But I still have questions. Or C, I just want to be a customer. And then basically give them the most likely they're B, and then I give them information and schedule a follow-up. And then sometimes they'll say, hey, this is not for me. And then I just say no worries, and I just end it right there. I guess I could probably say more. That's probably somewhat areas that I could improve, is maybe I could do a little more.
Well, no, honestly, Michael, you're not with this, I think there's maybe 1 billion people on LinkedIn or more since they got bought by Facebook. There's so many people, I actually like that. You only work with people that are open-minded, that are answering. You can just go next. That's the beauty of it. So I don't see chasing people being a good time.
And the reason why I do that is because this is a numbers game, right? And I just want to get to the next. I just want to keep building the statistics, and then at some point, statistically, I will find people that are open-minded, that are interested, and that's exactly how I built my current team.
Yeah, so your whole team is just open-minded people. Yeah, no, I love it. Why don't we do this? Why don't we open up for Q&A and see if anybody has questions for Mike on the LinkedIn train. Anybody have any questions?
I just have one, Brian. First off, it's Microsoft owns LinkedIn now, not
is it? Okay.
Facebook. Yeah. And also, Mr. Sudagawa, what do you have for your, like, where your picture is? What do you have under there? What do you have for what is it? The heading? I don't know what they call it. Huh?
Like the banner?
Yeah. What do you have for your banner? Like, I'm an awesome businessman. You should follow me. What do you have under there? I didn't see that.
Let me go back to that. So you got to understand, I came from my last job was in the Intel community. So I didn't really want to put a whole lot out there. I try to keep it very minimum, and I believe this is, you could go on my website and check, but this is all I have right here. I don't think there's anything else besides this. I think I deleted everything else, like, all the little details and all the little things you're supposed to fill out. I don't know if I have that, but I remember just intentionally just putting the highlights here and just saying that's all people need to know about me. They don't need to know, everything else, what my favorite color is or anything like that. So that's it. And then my picture. Any other questions?
Yeah, Mike Joe. So as a fellow vet, thank you for your service. And hey, by the way, you can get a free premium account. All veterans get premium. I upgraded.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll help dial it in more.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Thank you very much. I will handle that.
Yes.
How do you get that, by the way? You just
I did it through the there's a link on the VA. I'll see if I can send you the link through the VA.
Cool.
Yeah. That was something they offered there. So
Awesome.
I know we got some fellow vets out there.
Well, my whole team's practically vets. That's
I saw that.
Hey, so this is Lucy, and thanks, Michael, for this help. One of my questions was actually whether you were on the free account or whether you had upgraded, because yesterday I got some warnings about no more in-mail messages available. Do you ever see that?
I don't do in-mail, so I don't know. Is that message or is that email?
I didn't know I was just like messaging, and then kind of like you've been showing us, and
that was probably one of the reasons why I just cut bait real quick is, because people, I had an incident, maybe I should share this. I had an incident where at the very beginning where a former female Marine who is a female, I had somehow, you know, I did the same thing, and then, but I didn't tell, obviously my lead-in blurb doesn't say exactly what it is. So she wanted to know what it was, and I wasn't going to sit there trying to do a text conversation with her. So I just said, you know, and I avoided it. And then I guess that made her mad. And then she started talking about reporting me and stuff like this. And then at that point, I just hit remove connection. I was like, this is bad energy. I don't need to be around this. I don't welcome this. I'm gonna avoid and get out of the problem. So I removed her connection before she could even report me. But ever since then, you know, I don't, that's probably one, I think that's probably the big reason why I don't push people and try to, you know, convince them, I guess, or persuade them. If they're closed-minded, they're closed-minded. That's my experiences told me in the past few months. This is a big social experiment. I've learned a lot about humans and human behavior and psychology doing this, but you know, if somebody's decided they don't want to do it, you don't just leave them alone. Just don't push it. I mean, it's not worth it. And then, is it worth, for me, this is my lifeline. Because if I get cut off from LinkedIn, I don't have a business anymore because I don't even have Facebook. So that's something to consider. And even after the connection or the brief, and they say they don't want to do it, I may poke a little, but you know, hey, do you want to be a customer? But then after that, I don't. Because what I told my team too is, you know, regarding the will or willpower. Everybody has their own free will, and you can't make a person decide to do something. I mean, your job is to do the best damn presentation possible, get them to that point, but you're not the one who has to cross the line. They have to do that on their own power, on their own decision, their own choice. And if you violate that, you know, physical coercion is the same, or, you know, verbal coercion is the same as almost physical coercion, right? They're both not good. So try not to, you know, verbally beat people. Because I have a tendency, I could do that because I used to debate in high school, and like, you know, I could probably figure out a way to make you wrong, but that's not good, right? I mean, that it doesn't make them feel good. So, and then that'll piss them off, and then that'll result in something you don't want. So I avoid that now.
Hey there, Michael. This is Simone.
Yeah. Hey, Simone.
I think we have another female vet on our team now. Hopefully there are two of us now. All right. But what I was going to say about the LinkedIn, because I'm trying to learn more about it, the InMail is more like an email feature. And as I understand it, you can connect to first, second, or even third degree, I think, as far as you can go, messages. And there's a cap on that per month if you're not a premium member. The messages only go to your first or a direct contact, so a first level person. So that's the difference between the two.
Yeah, you got to be careful if you're reaching out to people that you don't know, or because, you know, they'll do stuff like report you, I think, you know. And I think Facebook seems to be a little more sensitive than LinkedIn, but I'm sure LinkedIn has the same kind of stuff.
Awesome, guys. Any last questions before we wrap up?
I have a question. What does all the generations mean? Like, I mean, the like lead 1, lead 2, lead 3. What does that mean on there?
I think it means your first, you know,
yeah, it's just
direct connection.
Yeah, degree of closeness connection.
Yeah. The people you're connected with are generation 1, their friends are generation 2, and friends of friends are generation 3.
It's like level 1, level 2, level 3 of residual pay. It's like that, I think.
Hey, Stephanie, did you have any questions for Brian, so to speak?
Well, yeah, I just kind of wanted a little more information about like the comp plan. If you could go over that a little bit more, because I did get a little bit of it, but I wanted him to like, if he could just briefly go over it quickly, like the you know, the comp plan, because he kind of got into it, then he kind of went a little bit you know, deeper into it, like on the different tiers.
Well, what I would say to you, only because I got to go to another meeting here, this is recorded.
Oh, okay.
So it's okay. You can play that back, but also, guys, everyone in your back office, there's like a 20-page compensation plan right in your back office. So we can get you a copy of that. So this recording is going to be on the VIV Success Network YouTube channel. And you can kind of slow it down and look at it. I would go through it, but I only got 2 minutes before my next meeting here.
That's fine. I'll connect her with that.
Yeah, we can get on a three-way call or something, but yeah, dig out the compensation in your back office, Chris. And
I know where it's located. I'll get that to her. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Be well.
Yeah. And as far as the veterans, just Google free premium for vets and it'll pop up.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. In the last minute, I've already gotten my free LinkedIn premium, so it doesn't take that long.
No.
Good job. Awesome. Awesome, everybody. Hope you get some good value out of that. Mike, thanks for jumping in, doing a little training there. Again, on Tuesday nights, guys, we give you a lot of different ways to run this business. There's absolutely no excuse for no leads. People say I went through my warm market, and I tend to chuckle a little bit because you get your phone, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp. I mean, there's just no shortage of people. The only question you got to ask yourself, and I think Mike's a really good example, is what do you want? What are you willing to do? It's a business, and you may have to learn some things. But if you do certain things in a certain way week after week, it is a business that'll reward you. So thanks for doing that, Mike. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Be well,
Brian.
everybody. Take care.